Hey, everybody. Let us know if you can see us and hear us. We had some power outages, which always resets a lot of stuff on the computer and the webcam and the microphone and the streaming software. So I spent a bit of time the other day getting everything set back up. So hopefully everything's working and you can hear us and you can see us. It looks like it's working, at least on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're out there, make sure you say hi. We're finally back from
spring breaks and vacations and all that kind of stuff. And I appreciate Chris taking time out of his busy day to fill in for me last week while I was gone. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to have him with me. I'm glad he didn't make me do it by myself.
Yeah. Well, you did a pretty good job. Didn't embarrass you or anything like that.
No, I was waiting for it. I think he was a little nervous at first, but then he kind of started warming up at the end and said it wasn't too bad. And so,
Well, if you're new here, I'm Brian.
And I'm Nicole.
And we're from Factory Direct Craft Supply, also known as FactoryDirectCraft.com. Here comes some comments. Looks like we had some delays there. Hi, Rosalinda. How you doing? Good to see you. Hello, Aline. Good morning. Hi, Michelle.
Good morning.
Michelle said, hi, guys. Much better. Okay, good.
So that means we sound okay.
We sound and look okay.
I know last week it sounded okay. I think Chris was a little quiet, and then we started sounding like chipmunks.
When I had a chance to watch it, my first thought was, I bet that's the microphone on the webcam and not the actual stereo microphone in the room. But that's again because we had some. As a lot of you guys know, and especially in the Midwest, over the last 2 weeks or so, we had some nasty, nasty weather. Power outages, tornadoes, snow, flooding, all the fun stuff. Yeah. So trying to work through all that. So how's everybody doing? Well, it looks like some more people are rolling in. Make sure you say hi. If it's your first time here, let us know, how did you find us? If you have any questions for us, any questions about our company, FactoryDirectCraft.com, any crafting questions, there's always folks in the comments willing to share some ideas and share some experience. And, I think we learn something new just about every week.
Yeah.
Michelle said, you sound great. I can hear you great. So much better.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
So how was your vacation?
We made the most of it. We went to Las Vegas and it was cold and windy the entire and of course the week beforehand it was like in the 80s and sunny all week. This week, guess what Vegas' weather in? 80s and 90s and sunny. The week we were there, the highest it got was 62 degrees.
And that was the last day?
That was the last day. We flew out Monday evening, flew home Friday evening, and so like Tuesday it was mostly sunny, but it was like 56 and there was like 15-mile-an-hour winds, so it was chilly. And then Wednesday we went out to, as I mentioned in the previous show when I was on, we went out to Red Rocks to go hiking, and we're driving to Red Rocks, and I knew it was supposed to be in the 50s, and I'm like, you know what, we're hiking in the desert mountains, 50s is perfect. I'd rather be in the 50s than 100 degrees when you're out in the dry desert. And we're pulling into the Red Rocks Visitor Center, and the temperature in the car says 36. And it's like 20-mile-an-hour winds, and it's like vertical, like freezing rain blowing, or horizontal blowing. And we got in the car, and my wife's like, we probably just need to go back. And I was like, well, let's see what we can do. Fortunately, we decided, we'll just see what happens. And fortunately, because of the side of the mountain that we first drove to with trails, the mountains were blocking all the wind and all the rain. So all of a sudden, we get to the first trail. When we get out of the car, there's no wind, there's no rain. It feels like it's in the 50s. So I'm like, all right, if it stays like this even if we just do this half of the park where the mountains are blocking everything. So that ended up being a good day. We had like 4 or 5 hours. We got some hiking in and never, I know Lisa did stop at some of the visitor center. She did grab like an extra sweatshirt in case she needed to throw double her hoodies up.
I know that happened to us. I think when we went to Tennessee, I think it was last year we went to Tennessee. And, we were going up in the mountains, and we know that when you go up higher, it's going to be a little bit cooler than it's down and windy and all that stuff. We did not expect it to be, like, I don't
I don't know how much colder it was, but it was miserable.
Oh.
So we didn't really, we got out, got pictures, got back in the car, and once we got back down, we found some hiking trails.
We got to get like good 4, almost 5 hours of hiking in. And then in the afternoon, we got to the other side of the park because it's like a giant bowl. And there was one more trail that we really wanted to do, but we got out of the car, and by that point, we're away from all those mountains. So all of a sudden, all the wind and rain is whipping across the desert. So we get out, we start walking the trail, and I looked at Lisa, I'm like, we don't have to do this one. We've gotten more than I expected us to get, and we really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Let's go dry off and get warm before we go out tonight for dinner and all that. And so, let's see if we can catch up with some comments here. Kat said, good morning from windy Nebraska. Kat, is it windy and somewhat warm, or is it windy and cold? Because those are two very different things. So I expect you to let us know. Yeah. Because I need to know what we're going to have coming up this weekend. Hi, Carmen.
Hi, Carmen. How are you?
Thank you. Glad to be back. Cynthia said, where are we at? So we are located in Southwest Ohio. We're in a city called Springboro, about halfway between Dayton and Cincinnati. So that's where we are based out of. Our warehouse is 20 yards outside the door of this room. If you go on, Instagram or anything like that, you'll see we've done videos showing the warehouse and all the items here. We have 40,000 active SKU numbers, almost 41, I think, on our website, all of which ships from here in Ohio. So cold, no.
But though I know it's supposed to be cold because my husband has booked a trip to go camping this weekend. And it's here in Ohio. It's just like an hour away. And it's going to be cold.
Are you guys going to Brookville or?
I want to say it's Rocky Fork.
Chris, where are you guys going?
I think it's Rocky Fork.
Rocky Fork, okay.
And it's supposed to be cold, like 30s at night. And I'm just like, I'm not.
Well, I had to go out the other night and cover all the tulips and the magnolia bushes, everything's, and we saw there was like a frost warning, and I was like, so I had to go out to the shed and get all the old sheets and tarps and stuff like that, and cover everything.
And the thing is, I think it was yesterday, was a year ago, we had the solar eclipse.
Yeah.
And
was that a year ago? Was it a year ago? So. Yeah, it was right about a year ago.
If it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. But Adley, I've got pictures of her at her friend's house running around in a bathing suit and a sprinkler and having ice cream outside. I'm like, and we are in the 40s, 30s.
Yeah, I looked, I think about a year ago, I was going through some pictures on my phone, and I saw like this time a year ago, I already gone over to my pond to fish 4 or 5 times. By this point, I haven't touched a fishing rod yet.
No.
Because it's been too cold, too windy.
I don't like it.
We'd have a rare 70-degree day, but it was in the 30s leading up to it. So the water in the pond is still in the 40s. So it's
no point.
No point. Cynthia said, "Oh, I'm in northern Indiana." No worries. We don't have a brick and mortar retail store anyway. So
we're all online.
We're online only. So the nice thing about you being in Indiana is, most orders will get to Indiana in 2 days or so, maybe 1 to 3 days or so. So if you order anything on a website, you'll get it pretty quick. So. Carmen said, Miami's weather is gorgeous today, cool and windy. What is cool for Miami, Carmen?
Yeah,
I know we've kind of talked about this before, but
so
what are you talking? It's probably like 72. Yeah. 72 with a 3-mile-an-hour breeze.
Can you please send some of that our way, because I'm ready for
Kat's just saying supposed to be in the 80s by Saturday, which means early next week. Well, yeah, but she's west of us.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
we're
about 2 to 3 days. That's why we always ask Kat for the weather, because whatever they have, about 2 to 3 days later, that just is when it hits Ohio. So it kind of gives us a little bit of a future forecast. So Chris said, Rocky Fork State Park. Cynthia said Indiana got rain, snow, and sleet yesterday. Yeah,
there's a couple.
That sounds right for Ohio.
I think it was Monday when I was driving and dropping Aniston off at preschool. I saw cars that were just covered in snow.
Yeah.
Covered.
Yeah, I had to go out and help my son scrape his car off, scrape ice off his car the other morning before school, because I knew it was supposed to get cold overnight. I didn't realize it was supposed to get that snow and ice.
Yeah.
And he was getting ready. He and Maddie were getting ready for school, and he's like, "Dad, everything's covered in frost and all that." I was like, "All right." So he's on one side, I'm on the other with our snow brushes, and I'm like, "Okay, it's April. I should not be snow brushing ice off of car windshields."
No.
And it's funny, like that whole cold front that hit like Las Vegas when it was like when we were out at like Red Rocks in the afternoon, and Lisa was like kind of getting a little depressed. She's like, "I just wanted sun. And I wanted to sit, sit by the water for my spring break."
I get it.
So I thought, you know what? Like, Laguna Beach, California is only like 3.5 hours if there's no traffic from Vegas.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, that Thursday we have a full day. We didn't have anything planned. It was just going to kind of be whatever we felt like doing. So I'm like, you know what? Let me check their weather because if need be, I'm going to throw her in the rental car
just
early
so
in the
she can
morning,
have
and
some more.
we'll be there by 9 or 10 a.m. You can sit at the beach all day. We'll drive back that night. That Thursday, the temperature at Laguna Beach, California was 52 degrees. It was colder than Las Vegas. So I'm looking all over LA. I'm like, well, maybe we'll drive 4 hours to San Diego. San Diego's like 74 every day of the year.
Usually San Diego is not that.
San Diego was 56.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Forget it.
It is what it is.
She ended up that Thursday. All of a sudden the sun came out. It was like 62, but there was no humidity. Full sun. So for a couple hours that morning, it felt like it was in the mid 70s. She's like, put on my bathing suit, and I'm laying by the pool for as long as I have sun. So she did get a little bit of her,
good.
she did get a little bit of color. So she was happy about that.
Yeah.
So Michelle said Southwest Florida had a cool front come in. Is what my husband calls a Chamber of Commerce day. In other words, great for tourism, but we are lucky to get to enjoy it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Carmen said, cool in the 60s. It's nice now, but later it'll be hot again. So
that sounds lovely.
I mean, if 60s is considered cool, sign me up.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Right now, 60s is like, I'm throwing on shorts.
Yeah. I mean, when we were in Florida, the first couple days, I mean, it was cool for Florida. I mean, it was hard to kind of get. The girls wanted to, they were used to waking up in the morning, have their breakfast, and jumping in the pool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're gonna have to wait until after lunchtime.
Yeah.
But I mean, we couldn't hold them back. They got in the pool multiple times before lunch.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's on you.
Yeah.
It is on you.
Yep. When you start turning blue because the water's cold, time to get out.
Let them enjoy it.
Yeah, Kat said almost straight west of you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So whatever weather Kat has, about 2.5 days later is when it hits us. So I guess we'll just assume then Tuesday-ish, Wednesday or so that I'll just plan on us. Yeah, it's supposed to get warm next week.
Well, I think we just all need some warm weather.
Yeah. So a question for you guys, because I haven't asked one yet. Has there anything that you guys have done? Those of you that don't have 80s every day, like Michelle and Carmen and all that, have you done anything that you're like, that is very like, okay, it's spring. So like Monday, I had to cut the grass already.
We haven't done that yet.
We, like 2 weeks before spring break, our lawn company came out and put down fertilizer and pre-emergent, and they always do like an early spring treatment. And then while we were gone, like I guess you guys got rain last week, it rained and thunderstormed like every day because we came back to flooding.
It was
all over the area. And so between all of that rain and all the fertilizer, I came back and my front lawn was
that's how
borderline. I'm gonna get an HOA write up for how long my grass is.
That's how ours is. But
and 2 weeks ago, it was still wherever I had last mowed it from the fall.
Yeah.
So I was like, and then I looked at it, I'm like, okay, there's more rain coming up. It's gonna be cold. I told Lisa, I'm like, I gotta at least get the front grass cut. So I was out there cutting grass Monday, and I'm like, I guess technically it's spring. I got the first lawn mowing in, and once you mow it once, it's
done.
Gonna be growing.
That's what I told my mom.
Start
I'm
mowing all the time.
She mowed. I'm like, a couple weeks ago, I'm like, well, you just signed your card. I mean, you're going to be mowing now.
Yeah, now I'm going to have to get to weekly mowings.
We haven't done it yet.
And it's Thursday, and it looks like I didn't even mow anything on Monday because it's just growing.
Our yard is still flooded. I mean, it is so wet that it is so hard to kind of mow. We have to, it has to dry out. So
see, our soil is real sandy, so we never, it just drains like crazy.
Yeah.
So we never have any kind of sitting water. Our retention pond did overflow into the backup. They have a bowl next to it because the water got so high from all the rain that it then started filling up
I believe
an auxiliary area. And driving over through like Miamisburg along the river is like there was times where that water was the river was like
bad.
inches off of the road when normally it's a quarter of a mile away.
I saw there was a restaurant in Cincinnati. They had flooding before. I've never heard of this. So I think the Ohio River, it got up like 60
and a half feet.
Yeah. And so
like
this restaurant, what they did is they filled up their restaurant with fresh water. They opened up, they turned on the faucets.
They flooded their own restaurant?
Flooded their own restaurant with fresh water to keep all the scum and the yucky river water out of the restaurant to hopefully...
Interesting.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before.
I haven't either, but I guess if it's one of those things where like it's going to flood no matter what.
Yeah, that's what they said. It's going to flood no matter what. And being on the river,
I guess I don't understand how that river water is still going to find a way in to mix with the fresh water in your restaurant.
I don't know. I haven't seen pictures of it, but they said they kept it going, and I think they got up to 3 feet or something like that, and it was leveled up with the water outside.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything coming in from the river.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I bet you, because my first thing was like, what about insurance? Insurance is not going to pay that you flooded your own restaurant, but they probably don't have it.
Yeah, they probably don't have flood insurance
if
it's, once every, 60 years.
So I was like, a couple people were commenting like, let me know how this works.
I
live
a quarter of a mile from the Great Miami River, and we don't have flood insurance.
Yeah.
Because our house was technically built above floodplains. So what's funny is the houses at the front of our neighborhood, they all have to have flood insurance.
Do they?
Where we are in the back, because we have a little bit higher elevation. Never needed it.
Well, that's good. That's good. But I read this and I saw this on the news and Facebook, and I'm just like, well, I mean, it makes sense because it keeps all that crap out of it.
I guess, obviously, there's got to be some merit to it. Otherwise, they would have just let their restaurant flood naturally.
But it was kind of funny in one of the scenes, like the videos that they were showing, the fireplace was on. I'm like, and you're got 3
water.
feet
Interesting.
of water in there. I'm like, that does not work very well.
I'll have to look this one up.
Yeah.
Kat said, too windy to start leaf cleanup yet.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I always try after all the leaves, after the last of the leaves have fallen, I always try to, mulch them all up and all that. Because, have a rabbit making a nest for babies in the leaves behind a bush right outside my craft window.
Oh, I love that.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely don't want to start leaf cleanup until they have left that burrow.
No, not at all.
For sure. Michelle said, I guess then you just mop the floor after you flooded. One way to stay clean.
I mean, there's less.
You already got a little water there. Just throw some detergent in with it, and as the water recedes, it's just going to clean everything, and then just mop it up.
Yeah, I mean, they picked everything up. They got it all cleaned out, and they've done it multiple times before, I guess, and it just keeps all that nasty crap out of the restaurant.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So with spring coming up, what are you guys working on? What you got? You got any cool, now that you're back and settled in from spring break, got any cool projects, blog, crafts?
I've got a couple crafts that I've done and finished. I've got one that I'm still trying to finalize. I did like a crackle finish on it.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm trying to figure out how to not be too much crackle, but have enough. I don't know.
I think I know
that it overtakes the cross project. So I'm trying to figure out how to do it and make it something pretty. Are you using like that
crackle paint?
I did, yeah. So we have like this, I don't know, I guess a Western type looking cross. Okay. It's actually a decent sized cross. We have a lot of it. They do sell, but I'm like, not a lot of people like that look of the cross.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and sanded it, painted it, and I'm trying to turn it around and repurpose it to make it look a little different style. So we'll see how it goes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What are you guys working on? You guys have any ideas, any craft stuff? Obviously, some of you guys might be in the middle of Easter stuff right now, Easter projects.
I know a lot of you are because I've seen a lot of the orders going out. And
yeah, I've got lots of Easter still.
Michelle said, thanks for posting that napkin bowl one. Sophie, I'm going to try to find some Americana type napkins.
Yes.
And try one for summer.
Yeah, I was actually planning on doing some bowls. The bowls, again, with Americana. And I think some of our vases as well. So we'll see how those go. But yeah, that was an easy, fun project. Yeah. It took no time to do so, and it's called for like no supplies hardly, just a napkin, paper mache, and Mod Podge. That's it.
Doesn't get more basic than that.
Nope.
Kat said still busy with prom dresses. Yeah, 'tis the season.
Those were fun
just that
days.
time of year when my Facebook timeline is filled up with everyone posting how their sons are asking their girlfriends and dates and all that to prom. So. My son's a sophomore, so we still have a year. We're still a year off from that because they only do junior, senior prom at our high school. So, So the only way you can go is if you're as an underclassman is if you get asked by an older classman. And I don't know if there's any junior, senior girls
that's going to be asking
sophomore boys to go to prom with them.
No.
So, but I'm sure next year I'll be those parents posting.
Oh, you will
something.
I'm sure of it. That's always a fun time.
And then in like 2 weeks, it'll be filled up with all the moms selling, prom dresses, used ones.
Used,
filling Facebook Marketplace and stuff in the timeline with used ones, half off, and all that. So it's the cycle. So
I can't believe, it's already time for, talking about graduations and
yeah.
proms.
I know we're getting bombarded with invitations to grad parties for our friends' kids. And all
that's
that stuff.
great.
I'm like,
yeah, it's crazy to think that it's already here.
I think this morning, Maddie was like, she was eating breakfast. She's like, Dad, she goes, we have 34 days of school left. I was like, what? Because we have 34 school days left until summer break. I was like, holy smokes, slow down.
Yeah, please.
Although, I'm ready for summer, so I guess bring it on. So. Carmen said, started my Mother's Day angels. Received my FTC order, so I'm ready. Awesome.
So how are you making those angels?
Yeah, what are you doing, Carmen? Share with us as much as you can. So, I saw a couple of folks that are normal regulars here have been placing orders. So I saw Linda placed one the other day.
I think it was last week. I helped pack Kat's order. So
I
put like a little note in there. So I don't know if you got that yet.
Awesome.
But yeah, it was fun. I was like, I know whose order this is. As soon as I got the tote, I'm like, I know exactly because I think she's the one that asked about the greenery for carrots. And I'm like, yep, it sure is. So I wrote a nice little note for
her. That is awesome. So this week we kind of did a kind of a quick, think spring. So, it's spring. So it's that time of birds and flowers and all that kind of stuff. So I know Pam and Adam grabbed a couple of different things. We have these fun kind of burlap, printed bird, or I guess it'd be like an ornament or a hanger.
A hanger. You can add it to wreaths. You can
string on it.
Cut that off and put it on like a wood plaque and make a little decoration to sit around the house. Many things that you can do for that.
All kinds of stuff. Do you have anything over there? We'll kind of go back and forth.
Let's see here. I know. Oh. Here we've got a couple different signs. I think these are...
Kat said still waiting for it to bounce around Chicago. Yeah.
Oh.
You should have it shortly.
Sorry, Kat.
Chicago's like that sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they like to bounce around a lot. But we have these signs here, and I think that they are assorted.
Hi, Adrena. How are you?
Hi, Adrena. Thanks for joining. Yeah, but I think... do you know if these are assorted?
I believe they are, yeah. Let me see. I have the link to
but they're really nice signs.
I'll pull that up here while you're...
But I can see, this is a great start to a project for your spring. You can rust it up and put some moss and some greenery and some ribbon. It's just an easy item to start a project. That won't take too long.
They are assorted, yeah.
They are assorted.
Yeah, the pastel bird beaded hanger sign.
Yeah.
It looks like we show 4 different styles, so you would get one of the 4.
Yeah, they're really cute.
And as always, Nikki will post the link in here to all the items we're showing today.
Link here. Here's another one. Yeah, it's just a great little piece. You can set it around as is or add your own finishing touches to it. But I know we have a lot of wood cutouts for springtime. I know people are going to start thinking about Americana stuff. So we have a lot of flags, floral. I know one thing that I'm excited about. We did get these.
Those things are huge.
They're huge. I did make a post of this, but we did finally get bigger circle.
You guys been asking for them, so
wood cutouts, so you can make your own like
I'm trying to
different
show,
wreaths.
show how big all these are.
They're big, but you can make
like
your own like
18.
little door hangers for.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're huge. They're all over Pinterest for people making their own door hangers that,
My wife has used ones like that, and we have door hangers for every season.
Yeah.
Every season on our apartment.
So I thought about taking one of those. I think we have some little flip-flops, and I thought I was going to put a couple flip-flops on there, do a summer door hanger. So I'm excited about those.
Nancy said, I killed the craft. I was about to work on a cigar box, primed it, but it's stuck. The lid's stuck down when I cut it apart. I cut the wrong side. No longer has a hinge. Could you glue, Nancy? Could you glue the part you cut off back on, and then that way you could put the hinge back on the right side?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how you could fix that. So, I've made, as a woodworker, I've made more than my share of mistakes cutting the wrong size of stuff. So I feel your pain. I'm wondering, depending on how you cut it, if you could glue what you cut back on. You could use a little bit of wood filler to kind of hide.
Maybe. I'd have to see and just kind of mess around with it to be able to see what. I'm sure there's a way that you can fix it.
Yeah, there's always a way you can fix most things. So
hopefully it's not done.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could probably fix it, hopefully.
Yeah.
I know that's always a bummer because I know I've started projects and thinking they're going well, and then all of a sudden I've done something wrong, and I'm like, well.
Yep.
Here goes that.
Yeah. How can we fix this?
Yep.
Adrena said those are cute. You have tulips?
We do have tulips. We have a lot of different tulips. I don't think they brought in those. I was hoping we were going to have more wood cutouts here. But we do have, this is cute. It is a...
Sorry, apparently I think the HVAC guys are on the roof.
Somebody's breaking through the roof.
Or the electric guys, because I saw the contractor van out front. But I'm hearing stomping on the roof above us, so...
Yeah, but we have this nice little flower. It's a sitter, so you can decorate it, paint it, add some ribbon, add some rustic touch, because I know Adrena loves that, so add some bells, anything that you can think of. It does have, I hate to open this, but it comes in like 3 different pieces, and it has like a rod here. I'll have to post a picture. It will be in the link.
Yeah, because you can assemble it to make it look like the flower is sitting on top of the leaves. Because doesn't the rod...
I'm going to
rip one open. We can rebag it. We can...
I'll do a craft with it.
Well, there you go.
I don't like opening up packages.
Pam, make sure you take one of those out of inventory if you're watching. Because this one's not getting restocked.
Yeah, but so it has
we don't want
our
inventory to be wrong.
Rod that you can put in there. And put it together so you can add your own little touch to it. Mm-hmm. I mean, kids could have fun with this. Yeah. This would actually be a good Mother's Day gift for kids. You can give it to them, give them paint, let them decorate it, or just make it kind of a rustic feel, or, add some colors for spring or summer. Can't remember what this is for. Is this supposed to be a leaf?
I think it's supposed to be a leaf, yeah.
No, it's the center.
Yes, the center of the tulip.
It's the
you glue that on.
But we do. We have tulip, a lot of different tulip cutouts. We
artificial
have
tulips.
Chicks. We have
a lot.
Churches.
Just do it. Let's play a quick game. Do a search. Nikki's gonna type in the word tulip and hit search, and let's see who can guess how many items pop up, and don't cheat by doing it yourself. So
it is spring, so I think we've had more than this.
Yes, yeah, that's just what we have.
This is what we
have in stock. How many? If you type the word tulip in our search bar, don't cheat. What's your guess? How many items that have tulip in the name will pop up? Let's see here. Adrena guessed 65. Not even close.
Try again.
Kat said 589. A little high.
Oh, that's a little high.
A little high.
We probably would have had a little bit more, but I think some of them sold out. But
Carmen was saying... Kat wanted to thank you for finding the item numbers.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
Carmen said your angel heads and arms and a lot of fabric with bling. Of course, all your miniature flowers. Carmen, send us a picture of that. Send Nikki a picture of that when you're done with one of them. We want to see it for sure. Let's see. Nancy said I was thinking about blowing ribbon or binding to make a new hinge. That's a great idea.
That would be a good idea.
I think we're using ribbon or something as a hinge would.
She cheated.
Oh.
Michelle,
I said don't cheat. I said don't cheat. That's all right. Yeah, 149. Yeah, there's like 149 items with tulip in the name on our website. Now that's going to be artificial tulips. It's going to be cutouts, miniature tulips. But just to kind of show you how expansive our inventory is across just things involving tulips.
But I did post a link for the tulip cutout. That's just one of them.
Adrena said that was me trying to get inside the warehouse and get me some supplies.
The noise up top of the roof.
Adrena, you can go. Yeah, you can come visit anytime.
Please come visit. We would love for you to come visit.
Yes, Maria. Someone's got to run that through Google Translate for me.
I saw that.
Let me find I love that one. Kat said that's very cute. Maria, again, we'll have to. I apologize. I do English and German.
It says you are a god of abundance.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
So yeah, Adrena had guessed 250. Kat said 418. Nancy said 270, which wasn't far off. Aline said 125, which was close. And then Michelle, did what I said don't do. 149. Carmen said 100. Yeah, so it was like 149. As you can see, Nikki posted the link to the items we have today.
So that's just for the tulip cutout. That's just one of them. Because I know Adrena was asking about it. So I just figured I'd post a quick link for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Michelle with a laughing emoji because we called her out for... But you know what, Michelle?
It's all right.
I'll give you... At least you admitted to the cheating. So if you had just randomly thrown out,
we would have known
149.
We would have known.
I would have known that you did it, and we would have had to accuse you of cheating. Instead, you just fessed up. So I'm okay with that. What else do we have? I know Adam said all. Oh, I have to show this. If Adam is watching, I am assuming this is what he's talking about. So this is an item that we have for sale.
Oh, is it?
I think it is.
What? Because I even saw this. I'm like, well, this is a beautiful...
Adam, is this the item you're talking about? I need to know. Let me check. Because I believe he said there was a really big birdhouse that we had.
Is this it?
Yes. So
we do.
So we sell this. Now, here's the kicker. This is item number BH3H. The bird, it doesn't come with a bird. We put that on there. But this is a wood birdhouse. Like, you could actually probably seal it and use it as an actual birdhouse.
That's beautiful.
It's $19.99. Here's the kicker. This is the only one we have left.
We only have one.
This is the last one we have.
Where'd it come from?
Don't know. I just know it's the last one we have, and we don't have any more. So this is first come, first serve. So if you want this,
$19.99 for this big
and
thing.
It's and it's got these cool. The roof has has actual bark on it. It already has a hanger, so you can hang it from a tree.
How cute is
shepherd's hook, whatever. This bird looks like we just stuck it on. It's just got an alligator clip. So the bird doesn't come with it, but it is solid. It is heavy. So that's all, half inch boards all the way around. Obviously, you could use it as is. You can decorate it, paint it, whitewash it, whatever you want to do. But this is the only one we have. So when someone buys this exact one I am holding,
it is cute.
It's gone.
I like it.
Yeah.
I wondered. I walked in here and I'm like,
Adam told me that he said there was a birdhouse that is really cool, but we only had one of. And this morning, because I came in and looked, I was like, oh, we have the rusty tin. Pick one up here. I saw like this guy. Yeah, those are popular. Yeah, and I said, which one is it? He said, it's the giant one. You can't miss it. So I'm like, okay, then it's that one.
Yeah, these are cute. Have a nice little long pick on it.
Yep. Yeah, and that is actual rust. You know, common question along with that. We have primitive items that will say rusty, and we have items that will say rustic. There is a difference. Mm-hmm. Rusty means it's actually been rusted. They they take the galvanized metal, they use, they apply a chemical to it, usually some type of acid, which speeds up the rusting process instead of having to like leave it outside for a year. So if it says rusty, it's actual rust. If it says rustic, that means it's been painted to look like rust.
To give the look of
rust. Because some people don't want... Because here's the thing. With a rusty tin item, it will continue to rust.
Yeah.
So it's going to continue to weather. It's going to continue to rust. Sometimes as it rusts, you'll get the brown kind of powdery rust coming off of it. Some people love that. Some people hate it. But we have, every once in a while we do have customers that will ask the difference because they'll buy something rustic and they'll say, hey, this is just painted metal. Thought we'd clear that up. So if you ever wonder rusty versus rustic means simulated rust. Rusty is the real deal. So, so much so that some of our rusty tin items that are like in bags from the cutouts, the bag will be filled with the brown rust dust at the bottom just because it's real,
just the process.
Real rust.
It's
real rust. Yep. And if you want the real thing,
you're gonna have to deal with a little bit.
You're gonna have to deal with a little bit of rusty powder in the bag.
It's just like glitter.
Let's see what else. That's another one of those signs. Obviously, we have a lot of spring cutouts. These are laser cut, so they will kind of have the burning around the edges. But that
I meant to bring in my carrot that I did last year because I
remember the carrot. Yeah.
Yeah, I used this. We have what is that? A plaque? Not a plaque. The heart.
Yeah, the big heart cutout.
Yeah, the big heart cutout. I made that into a carrot. Super easy. Mm-hmm. Painted it orange.
Remember that one?
Glued some greenery on the back of it, and it looked like a carrot, and just put this on top of it.
Michelle said you could seal it from continuing rust. That is true.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can get like a Krylon clear acrylic sealer on a rusty tin item, and you can absolutely seal it. Because we have had items in the past where they were rusted, and then the manufacturer then would seal it.
Yeah.
So, and you would know because it would be actual rust, but it would kind of have like a sheen to it, so you could tell. Adrena said, "I love that Hello Spring." Yeah,
it's cute.
We sell a boatload of these, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. I've never seen before.
Really?
I haven't seen these, but we have almost 41,000 items.
I mean,
even being here even being here almost 10 years, every day I find there's new items I've never seen before. So they look like they're wearing pajamas. That's the first thing I thought was it's a bird wearing polka dot jammies. But no, it is cute though.
No, it's cute.
Yeah.
They're just cute little sitters that you can put on your shelves or whatnot.
And the metal wire tails.
Now I'm not going to be able to look at this without saying it's pajamas.
Right? We're going to have to rename it Pajama. Pam, rename this on the website as Pajama Bird or something like that. Jammy Birds. I don't know. It looks like it's a bird wearing a onesie.
And the funny thing is, when you said that, the first song that came in my head, can you guess? Bananas in Pajamas.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because you
rolling down the stairs in pairs. Oh, my gosh. That's one of my kids. I haven't heard that song in 13 years.
No. Brought it up for my kids.
Michelle wants to know, will that cloth come off? You'd have to cut it.
You would have to cut it.
And the other issue, too, is not just cutting it, but it is actually glued to the wood here.
So you'll have a hard time.
So if you really wanted to, you could cut it off, and then you're going to have to do some kind of sanding.
Yeah.
Or even get like a really fine chisel to get all that glue residue off. I would not recommend it, but you could do it.
You could if you want to spend the time too.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of work, but you could do it.
Yeah, but it's just got fabric and then
it's fabric, and then just up at the top here, you can see where
it's stuffed with cotton.
And it looks like it's maybe there's just cotton stuffing. And it looks like it's maybe like hot glue, so you may be able to kind of peel it, and it should sand off easily. But let's see here.
Birds are going shopping at Walmart.
Oh, love these birds! Birds are going shopping. Yeah. Bird wearing a pair of Walmart's finest jammies.
That's funny.
So Andrea said she loves the birds. Yeah, they're cute.
They're cute.
They are cute birds. obviously we've talked before, a lot of florals.
We have gotten a lot of different new floral
Yes.
coming in.
Yes.
Which I know we're
got
working
a lot
on.
of pitberry stuff we're working on too.
Yeah.
A lot. Because we got some samples the other day from a vendor because Pam and I were looking at, determining which ones were what colors. And, oh, Brian, is this, do you think this is mustard or is it? So yeah, we're trying to determine which samples match up with which current items and things like that. Their legs are metal. Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes, on these birds, yeah. Yeah, those are
silver.
Yeah, they're like a painted silver metal legs. Obviously, we have a ton of birds' nests of a lot of different materials. This one is made from twigs. They are real twigs. They're not synthetic. We have a lot of grapevine birds' nests. We have bird nests that have the artificial moss on them, like the Spanish moss.
Frosted.
We have them on picks. We have ones that have like little eggs glued in. A lot of nests, and they'll sell year round. It's not just a spring thing, because we have people that'll use them with like cardinals for Christmas stuff, and they'll use them with doves for wedding things and all that. So let's see. Obviously, this cardinal's kind of. Adam told me I was free to destroy this backdrop today.
We kind of kept it simple today.
Sometimes you put stuff in, and he's like, "Don't move this, because." Like the one week we had all the stuff up and he had the table propped up holding the grasses in. He's like, don't pull those grasses out. So this, gotta go the other way, is a really nice wildflower garland. It's artificial lavender.
Yeah.
Is what it
It's really pretty.
It is. Pastel colors. As you can see, all the branches are wrapped. It is wired, so you could shape every single part of every branch exactly the way you want. Every little branch in this is wired, so you can make it as thin or as full as your heart desires.
And I think it was this garland that Desiree that does a lot of our floral designs and everything.
Yeah.
She took that garland. And then we have an egg garland that has the pastel colors that
and she used them together, right?
She just wound them together and created a nice. I mean, it was a decent size wreath.
Yeah.
But not like too overly big. But because I can't remember how long that wreath is.
I think it's either 48 or 60 inches.
Here.
I think it's about 5 feet. Most of our garlands are around
5 feet.
Inches.
Yeah. So you just bend it into a shape. You can make a nice wreath out of it, add another garland to it like Desiree did with that and eggs, and it was just a beautiful display for the springtime. So I think I just posted that.
Aline says, speaking of florals, I'd love to see some in one of your Thursday shows. We featured some before. What are you, anything, I mean, are you looking for roses? Are you looking for tulips? Are you looking for daisies? We have a lot, so much so that if there's a certain kind you're looking for, whether it's, again, you want to see roses, you want to see lilies, let us know, because we would be
more than happy to pull.
Yeah,
flowers.
Usually if we have florals, we're kind of using them as accents to go with the theme. So we have a couple, with some tulips and some lavender back there. But if you guys want, next Thursday we'll break out. This thing
will look like
it'll look like a florist shop.
Yep, sure will.
So it'll look like walking into a Kroger store and turning left, and it's just all the flowers.
So just let us know what kind of florals.
Give us some ideas of what you guys want to see. What kinds of florals? Because just florals by themselves is, we could play another game and have Nikki type in.
We could
artificial flower or the word floral into our website, and it'll literally be thousands of items. So help us narrow it down, and we'll absolutely do that for next week.
If not, we'll just kind of take a gander and we'll just try to pull some florals. I know we've got indoor and outdoor florals. I know I use a lot of the outdoor florals for my front porch because it's nice and covered and shaded.
Yeah, you never have to water them.
Yeah, we don't really get much sun.
Yeah, so they'll keep their color.
And I always overwater. They never dry out. So I just go with the artificial up front.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot easier.
Christina said hello from Monroe, Washington. Hi, Christina.
Hello.
How's the weather up in Washington today?
Hopefully nice for you.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully. It's supposed to be like 60 today, but a chance of rain. Shocking.
Of course.
It's, river's going back down. Why not just have it start raining again?
At least we got our sump pump fixed. We are good.
I was going to ask you, yeah. We're past the great basement flood of 2025?
Finally. But, of course, we finally got our carpet. We have still messing with the insurance, but we finally was like, we need to get carpet. Yep. So we just did it ourselves. We went through it. Mm-hmm. And then I think 2 days later, we had all those storms and we had a tornado warning. So we had to go downstairs at like 1:00 in the night and racing peas
around the new carpet.
I'm like, no, but it's okay.
That's the way it works.
Yeah,
that's the way it works. Let's see.
I ordered a white rose stem with lights. I think I remember. Which one is that? I think I.
Carmen said, "Shape it into a wreath." Yeah, that girl. Yeah.
It's a great way to,
Yeah, you absolutely could.
Those wreaths.
A lot of times when you see people that are making wreaths, a lot of times that's what they do.
Yeah, they just.
We have customers that will get like pitberry garlands and things like that, and they'll either buy or make their own like wreath frame, and they'll intertwine all that stuff around it to make a garland, because it's sometimes it can be a lot more efficient than getting all these different stems and trying to get enough of them to fill your entire wreath form. So Kat said the seed stems that mimic Sweet Annie.
Okay.
We'll see what we have.
Oh.
Do you know what she's talking about?
Yes, that is what everybody just went nuts over. You were gone.
I was gone.
You were gone.
What did I miss?
So I had a customer reach out to us saying that we had a item that looked like Hobby Lobby's item, which I forgot to bring those in.
Yeah, I heard about this. This is when you showed it, and then like the next day, we had like 45 left, and they sold out.
They were sold out in a day. But I found 2 other items that are similar, which I just used one on one of my cross projects, and I think that was called the pepper grass. Mm-hmm. Which it has like that darker kind of rustic kind of look to it. So it's not like really that true, like really bright green.
Yeah.
But yeah. And Hobby Lobby discontinued them. There was other store that had them. And we came in the morning and we found 47 of them and they were gone.
And I know Pam grabbed one of them as a sample so we can look at see. Because it was the one we had, I guess, was discontinued. Mm. So that's all we had. So I know we have a sample of one, so we can send it to one of our floral factories and see, and they should be able to replicate it. So might be, if you're looking for that, it might be 6 or 9 months or whatever, however long it takes. But it sounds like we should be able to get them back in stock through a new vendor. I
have a stem of that one in my cart. Is it the pepper grass? It's really nice. It is. It's nice. You can piece it. We've got stems and candle rings in them, but the stem, just plucked them right off, and it works perfect for the fillers.
Eileen said, right now I'm looking for spring or summer flowers, forsythia, hydrangeas, black-eyed Susans, something red and pink. I have an antique crock that I change out.
Gotcha, covered.
Perfect. We will do that for next week. We'll go with spring flowers, and we'll try to focus on forsythia and hydrangeas.
12 in stock. What?
We found a few more of the.
Why?
Well, that would explain why Kat can have one in her cart when I thought they had sold out. So the pepper.
I'm gonna have to make a post of this.
Yeah, you might want to pull the trigger on that quickly because they went out of stock really fast last week, and we only have 12 left.
I'm going to post that. Adrena, I don't know if you're on here, but we have more. Oh no, I am posting this in the wrong place. I've got too many tabs up. So the sedum, that was like the Hobby Lobby. We've got 12 more.
12 more. Get them while they're hot. You can get a sedum, and you can get this birdhouse, and
there you go.
You'll be breaking other people's hearts for getting the last of stuff we have. So, let's see. Kat said, the pepper grass. You're welcome, Aline. Yeah, next week we'll tailor that to the kind of stuff you're looking for.
I'll work on that tomorrow.
There is the link for the hanging sedum bush.
Yes.
So, and if you guys have any other questions or anything you want to see for a future episode, any questions about the company, as you guys know, We just rolled past our 40-year anniversary last month. I actually think on our Facebook page doesn't have like a celebrating 40 years banner.
Yeah,
or
I
something
still have
like
that banner up. I figured to leave it up there. It's worth celebrating and keeping up for a little bit.
It's our 40th anniversary. That's gonna stay up for a while. So yeah. So if you guys ever have questions about the company, anything like that, how it started, whatever.
Yep.
We are an open book. And we'll be happy to answer anything you guys have.
Yeah, I know. Last week it was fun to have Chris on here. I know we've had Deneen on here as well.
We had Garrett on here. Garrett's been on here. I did one with Fran back a while back when she was here before she retired.
But just to hear all the old stories and, crazy items and crazy things that they have done, especially since they've been born in this business. But it was great to have Chris on here and be able to talk about that.
And I appreciate Chris filling in for me.
Yeah. Me too.
I wasn't even about to try to make the remote thing, collaboration thing
with the time difference.
The time difference in that. So
not going to make you get up that early.
And it was funny because I told her, so you have Chris fill in. She's like, already asked him. I was like, perfect. On the same page.
Nope, I asked him that day. So last week or 2 weeks ago.
And did you ask him or was it like, hey, you're doing the live with me?
Yeah, it was more of a hey.
Yeah.
I think Chris did kind of suggest it and I said, yes.
Okay.
You're going. And then he kept on asking, are you sure you need me? Yes. It just makes it so much easier because...
Yeah, because I've had to do one or two by myself, like when I think you were sick the one time and you guys were traveling the one time and it's doable, but it's not as fun.
It is. It's fun to be able to talk.
Yeah, and it's hard to try to fill up 45 to 60 minutes.
Yeah. We went over an hour last week.
I know.
I'm like, man, we were just talking.
We're not far off an hour today.
No.
So, Christina said, just did first show and mushrooms seem to be a thing this year.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a customer the other day that had a picture of some kind of mushroom and they were asking like, what's the closest artificial mushroom you have to this? And I was like, we don't get emails too often about mushrooms, but here they come. It's interesting.
Yeah, I know I did a project way back. I think that's kind of like one of my first reels that I did. It was more pictures than anything. But I took like a candle cup and a half ball, like wooden ball, and I put them together and painted them and made a nice little cute mushroom out of it. So I'll have to post that one then.
Yeah, last time I remember mushrooms kind of being a thing was back when, especially back years ago, 10 years ago, like when fairy gardens were huge. Yeah. And a lot of people wanted the colorful mushrooms.
Which we still, we have a lot of mushrooms.
And there's still a lot of folks buying a lot of fairy garden stuff. So if you kind of like are still into that, or that's kind of your thing, we still have fairy garden stuff. So, Chris, planning my daughter's B-Day Saturday and got called to work. So another day. Yeah, you could, whenever you could, whenever you get around to sending Nikki that picture and working on your project, let us. I'm sure we would love to see that. Kat said, have a great week. Going to head over and place my order. Sounds good, Kat. And just remember, if you need a birdhouse,
it's right.
Other side.
That way.
It's over there. We have one. So I'm hoping by the end of the day to see that birdhouse bought. I will. If you buy them, if you're in the chat and you buy the birdhouse, leave a comment saying that you heard about the birdhouse from us on the live. I will personally pack that birdhouse for you.
Make sure it arrives nice and safe.
I will wrap the crap out of it. It's pretty sturdy. I'd be more worried about the box than the birdhouse. Yeah. But I will personally pack that birdhouse with a thank you note with my autograph on it for one lucky customer.
You can't beat that thing. It's only $20.
Yeah, no, go to Walmart and look at what a big solid, or Lowe's or Menards and see what a Home Depot, see what a big solid wood birdhouse is running, because it's not going to be $20 for one like that. And so
I just realized there is a random bird hanging right there. I'm like, I looked at the picture and I said, "What is green?"
Adam stuck that up here. So
I thought something was wrong with like the camera.
It's another pajama bird.
It's a pajama bird. This one's green.
Yeah, this one's wearing fleece pajamas.
Nice and keep you nice and warm.
It is cute, similar to the last one.
I think you might.
This one's actually not glued on.
No,
in any
you'll
spot.
be able to take that off.
So you could take this this, and I would assume it's whitewashed all the way through. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So you could, if you don't like
don't like the pajamas.
Yeah, if you don't like the clothing on the bird, you could just cut those seams. It is not glued on anywhere. It's just stitched, stitched closed. Glue little bit of glue around the tail, but again,
that would be really cute
you could
to
take
like
that off. So
cute little accent for your projects.
Yeah, and until you said something, I had no idea that was up there.
No, like I said, I thought something was wrong with the screen. I don't know how I did not notice a big green blob up there.
Yeah. Well, with that, we're coming up on an hour, so you guys have a great week. It looks like Michelle's sharing a link to some mushrooms she found.
Oh, she found
Thanks for sharing, Michelle. Yeah, apparently, I guess again that's kind of a big thing. We've always had some, but I'll be curious to see if we notice like a uptick, a trend in mushroom sales.
I guess I'm gonna have to do some digging. Thanks for that info.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Michelle. Thank you very much. So with that, have a good week. Have a good weekend.
Great
Hopefully everyone's gonna have some warm weather coming soon.
Fingers crossed.
I'm over the rain. I'm over the cool temperatures. The next time I mow my lawn, I don't want to have to do it wearing a hoodie and sweatpants just to stay warm. So
yeah, I just want to play outside.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's all we want to do. So everyone, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Aline, if you're still here, we will have florals for you next week. Bye, Debbie. You have a great week as well.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.